everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a very late edition of Dollar Tree DIY. I had already done this project and was trying to upload it, and somewhere I lost my footage, so I don't know where it is, but I had bought another one to do this project in my style, so that's what we're going to do, and then I'll show you the one that I completed earlier. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making a frame, a wreath out of all Dollar Tree products except maybe one. So what we're using, these are some little blue and white flowers. These were some that I've had for over a year, but they did absolutely come from the Dollar Tree. And I know they're not Christmas colors. Well, they will be fine. So we're going to be using them. And then I have two stems, Christmas stems that I picked up. These are very lovely. And then there's another white flower. And then I picked these up last year, and they're just berries. So some of this stuff I've had for a while. Then we're going to be using some Dollar Tree shells. And this is off of one of the picks that I got from Dollar Tree. May use that. We may be using some of the sea glass. I'm not sure yet, but all these came from the Dollar Tree. And the only thing that didn't come from the Dollar Tree was this right here, starfish. And this was gifted to me by Angie and Andrew, who's Rags, Tags, and Confections. And this little starfish here, which came from the beach in Honduras. So, and then these came out of this one probably came from the same beach. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it. This actually came in a Dollar Tree bag. And then I may or may not use the nautical rope. Not sure yet. But what I am going to be using for sure are popsicle sticks, and I'll show you just a few minutes why. I'm going to be using some Caribbean blue paint. I'm going to be doing some dry brush painting on the frame itself. And the frame itself is silver. I will say you do have to be very careful with these frames because they are not wood. These are the 11 by 14 frames and from the Dollar Tree. And at first I thought the glass in it was plastic, but it is glass, and it's very thin glass. So you need to be careful with that as well so you don't break it and cut yourself, because it's very thin. So all we're going to do is to open the back of the frame and lift this out. Take this out. And then we're just going to pop this glass out. Like I said, this is glass. It's very thin glass, and I'm sure it would not be pretty shattered. But I may try to find a project for that later on. Okay, so now what we're going to do is pull these out, and I thought I would need pliers, but they pull out very easily. You're going to pull out the little clips. We're going to get all those out. Try not to drop them, because I don't want them on the floor. And you know, I don't have very much strength in my hands, so that's just how easily those things pop out right there. Okay, so there's your frame. Now this frame is silver, and my colors for Christmas are silver and blue and white. So now this frame is pretty flimsy, and what we're going to do is we're going to take our popsicle sticks and we're going to beef up our frame by gluing them on here. And see, I cut my finger on that glass. Need to go wipe that off. Don't want to get that in there. Okay, so like I was saying, we're going to put popsicle sticks on the back of this just to give it some beefiness and to help give it some strength, because it's not very strong. And so that's what we're going to do. And so you're going to need a glue gun. But before I do this, I did decide that I am going to use a nautical rope, and I'm going to use it on the inside of the frame, like this. Because when you turn it over, you'll see the inside of the nautical rope, but you won't see the inside lip here. I don't have any silver paint, so that's what made me decide to go ahead and use the nautical rope. So what we're going to do is start gluing this in. And I forgot to mention, you definitely need a glue gun for this. I'm not going to try to cut it beforehand. I'm just going to glue, and then I'll cut it off at the end. Do a little bit at a time. I'm telling you, this finger just won't stop. I laced it pretty good. I like doing these projects because, as I said, they're all from the Dollar Tree. Everything except for those couple little starfish. But I don't really count those because I didn't pay for them. They were freebies. Found it on the beach and gifted to me. But I've seen these frames done before, and they're really lovely, but some frames can be really pricey. And, you know, you want to decorate and do things on a budget, but it's kind of hard sometimes if you're looking for different things. So you can definitely go to the Dollar Tree and pick up stuff and adapt. You can make it all work from the Dollar Tree. You guys know that I love Dollar Tree. I've been shopping Dollar Tree many years. A lot longer than I've been doing YouTube. And they never disappoint me. Only when I can't find stuff. Okay, so as I'm turning the corners, what I'm doing is I'm just putting a little extra glue in the corner there. And then pushing the rope into the corner, like bending it and actually pushing it into the corner. And I can take one of these popsicle sticks and push it all the way down into the corner. And then push it down like that. Okay? And I'm just doing a little at a time because I don't want my glue to dry on me. Just trying to make sure that's tight in there. Okay, so we are through with this. Get the glue hairs off. Where's my big scissors? I'm trying to cut this. I should wait till it's dry, but you know, I'm not very patient when it comes to that stuff. Okay. And then push that back down into the glue. Perfect. Now, we're going to do pretty much the same thing with the popsicle sticks. I start on the longest edges first, like right here on this side. And another reason why I decided to go ahead and put the nautical rope in there, because you're not going to be able to see the popsicle sticks from the front side of the frame, but if you look inside the frame, you will be able to see them, and this nautical rope is going to hide that, and it fits into the nautical theme as well. So all I'm doing is taking popsicle sticks and laying them down here, and I'm just going to use my big scissor things because they're pretty easy to cut and just cut and fit on the corners. So I'll do a couple with you, and then I'll finish and come back when I have them all on there. So basically, instead of putting it on the popsicle stick and burning your hand, just put it on the frame and lay the popsicle sticks down. It's a whole lot easier. But this is going to give it some stability, make it a little bit beefier for you. And when you put the decorations and stuff on the front, you're going to need that. You're going to need that chunkiness on the back. That little bit of extra stability, especially on the corners. On my first one, one of the corners came separated. And I was able to fix that by using a little bit of E6000. Got some glue seepage out here. I just used a little bit of E6000 and glued it together and held a clamp, and it stayed perfectly. And I'll show that to you when we get to the end of here. I was real proud of that one. It looked really good. Okay. If you're wondering what I was doing, I was just putting the stick down in a little extra glue so I would know where to cut. These are the best shears right here as ever. And y'all, I got them from the Dollar Tree. They are super sharp. And they just cut through everything. Alright, so I'm going to continue on with the popsicle sticks. And when I get through, we'll be back and start with the next step. Okay, so I'm through gluing my sticks all the way around it. And it's pretty sturdy now. The frame's all good. So when we turn it over, do you see how cute that is with the little nautical rope peeking out? I love that. Now I'm going to have to run a heat gun or something over here to remove all these little glue hairs. Oh, I hate these things. The glue strings, but I think that is really, really cute. Now, I like the silver. Like I said, part of my frame is silver. And so what I'm going to do is just a little dry brushing. And what I mean by that is I'm going to put paint on my brush. And then I'm going to brush most of it off on some scrap paper here. So now on the other one, I did gesso it, and I may have to go back and try to do some gesso on this, but we're going to find out. I don't think I'm going to have to. Just dry brushing this, just to put a little hint of blue in here. Yeah, I think it'll stay when it gets dry. Like I said, I'm getting most of it off because I do want some silver on here still. So I'm just doing a little bit of blue. Take my finger and rub it across it so that some of the blue still comes out. I can just pick up enough paint off the paper there. Because a lot of the frame is not going to be seen anyway. I mean, sure, some of it is, but I'm going to cover up some of it. I probably put too much blue paint in there. See, I'm just picking up the paint from the side. On the sides, it's going to stay silver. But I just want this, just a hint of blue. Sorry, I have to pick this up to be able to look at it. That's really good. And it looks kind of like that beach worn look, and I love that. And it just ties right in with the nautical rope. Yes, I love this. And it dried really quick, and I did not have to gesso it, which is a time saver. Like I said, I did gesso the other one because I was turning the color on it, like really colored. And so I wanted to make sure it really, but this is fine for me. I think this looks good. Okay, so we're going to move this out of the way now. Alright, and so this is going to dry. So what we're going to do now is start placing our flowers or whatever we want on our frame. And so these picks, they're really lovely, but they are just put together and they can be easily pulled apart and use them individually. Now, I'm not sure if I want this to stay together or not. I've been playing with it, trying to get the shape that I want out of it. Because even though this is nautical, pine cones and ferns and spruce and all that, these are all indigenous of the coast of where I live. So we have all this stuff on the beach as well. So I was trying to decide if I want to lay this down here and make that be my jumping point, and then just build in from everything else from this point over here. And I do want to use this, I'm thinking, in this corner somewhere. So what I try to do first is lay out what I want. Now, of course, this may not stay this way, but I'm just kind of laying out what I want. So I know I want this up here. It's okay if it falls over. I'm going to put this, but I'm actually going to take some of my paint and highlight the tips of this with my dry brush. So, I'm just going to dry brush this a little bit with some blue paint, just so it has some of the colors to it. I know there's naturalists out there that are screaming at me, oh, don't paint the seashell. Well, I want to paint the seashell. Just a little. I mean, I'm going to leave most of it natural, but I just want to paint the tips of it. I just want it to have that hint of blue, just so it just sort of blends in with the and like I said, I'm just using a dry brush. Excuse me. Okay. There we go. And I may even put something in that little indentation there. Like one of these little beads or something like that. So, I know I want to put that there. And I want to put some more of these little flowers. Now, like I said, these aren't Christmas flowers per se, but they blend nicely and they look like little ice flowers. And so I want to do this and I want to do that, but I think I want this in the corner. And I may put some of these right here. It's always good to dry fit what you're going to glue in before you glue it in, because once it's glued, it's really a tacky mess when you're messing with, you know, things like that to really get them out. Again, without making it look like too big of a mess. Now, I will cut this off, but I'm just basically going to run it under here to see what this looks like. See, I'm not sure if I like those little white flowers. And see, this is why you dry fit it, because if you don't like it, you can easily take it off before it's ruined. So I'm going to take those off, but I am going to use little berries intermittently through here. And then I may use some of my shells. I may use this little pine cone here, like coming down like this, and me kind of use it down like this and tuck some little blue flowers around it, and then maybe another shell on it like this, kind of like that, and this. I could also put some sea glass pieces on around it. So the best thing to do is get your main pieces on and then fill in from there. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I know that I want this on first. So I'm going to take all this out. Now, like I said, this stuff is real easy to pull out of here. The one thing I don't like about this too much is got this really fake looking plastic green fern thing. So I'm taking that out because I really don't like the effect of that. I wish all of it was more like this, but it's not, and that's okay. We can make it work. And so they're very easily to move around. Okay, so all I'm going to do is just cut just a little bit off of this so it's not quite so long. And this is a bear to cut through, because you are actually cutting through like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces of stuffies here. But it will break, and I have broken them before, well, I did earlier. Here's my other one. It's just extremely hard. And if I don't get this one broke, it's not a biggie. I will fill it in with something and I'll cover it up. But look at there, I did. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up right here and I'm going to glue this one down right here. But instead of putting glue on my hands and burning them, I am going to just take my glue gun and lay it down on the frame where I wanted it to start. And then lay this down directly on it, up just a little bit higher, so I want to be able to tuck things in there. So now you may have to hold this for a second, but it's a whole lot easier than trying to glue the back of this flower where things run through. And I'm just going to push down on this and hold it. And I'm hoping I won't run out of time on here before we get through. Alright, so we got that in. Now I said I wanted to use some of these little berries here. And I do. So I am going to like tuck some down into here. Just in the top part of it. Just so it shines out a little bit. There we go. And I like the way that looks, so I'm just going to take some glue and stick that down in here. Sort of tuck that in. Okay. And it'll grab onto stuff, so I'm not really too worried about that. And then I'm going to, I have another one of these that I could place down here like this, and I might. So basically you have the gist of this. So I'm just going to place some flowers on here and then I'll come back. Okay guys, so I got this much done right here. And basically, I mean, this is so simple. You just pick your flowers you want. So you saw me glue this down. And then I just went in with some of the berries and the poinsettias were already there. I glued this extra pine cone here. And I put the little ice berries here. And then I just glued a cluster of shells here. And one of the little poinsettias here. And then I glued my starfish on. Now, originally I had planned to do the other little sea creature over here. I didn't like it after I painted it, so I may have to clean that up. But I don't know. I think that, I don't know that I really like it or not. So what I think I'm coming out here to do is I'm just going to take some more flowers. And I'm going to come out the side here and just bring it out to about right there. And like I said, these right here are very easy to pull apart. They're just bound together. Like I pulled all of them out. So I'm going to pull this one out right here because I really like the way this one looks. And you just break it open, basically, and pull it. Although this one is being a little bit more stubborn. Get my little scissors in here and cut through the paper. So I wish I could fast forward and just keep going and doing it without having to stop or whatever. But I can only film about 30 minutes or so. And it wouldn't make a difference if I could fast forward or not. So I want to be able to show you the whole completed project. So therefore I'm just going to have to keep going with it. So all I'm doing is unwrapping some of this right here. This is double wrapped right here. I'm going to pull that out, that out. I do want to lay some of this down like right here. So what I'm going to do is cut this off. I'm going to lay that down and then fix some flowers on it. Maybe some more shells, maybe some sea glass. And I'll be back to let you see the progress. Okay guys, so I am finished and this is what it looks like and I just love the way it turned out. I kept this pretty simple. I'm not sure if I'm going to put anything to hang it with, but I love the way the shells were clustered, and the little shells. I put some sea glass in here with gobs of hot glue so it looks like water surrounding it. And I just used the rest of the poinsettias here and some of the stems and, you know, just the shells. But I think it's lovely. I love the way it turned out. And real quickly before my camera dies, let me show you the other one that I did. This one is more traditional. And basically what I did with it is that I gessoed the frame, and I painted it with some burnt umber and went back over it with some distress ink, the espresso stress ink, and then I went back over it with some metallic. So that was the colors. And then I just took pegs like the ones that I used for the white ones, and I just filled in here. I took them apart and just used them. Up here, I did stick a little bird in this corner up here. I wasn't going to stick anything up here, but my hot glue gun hit this, and it kind of burnt the frame, so I had to cover it up. But anyway, I think this one came out really, really cute too. So I will have pictures in the thumbnail for you to see the whole thing hanging up. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure that if you're not subscribed to my channel that you hit that little subscribe button down there. So like I said, this is the one that I made earlier. Let's see if I can pull the camera back just a tiny bit so that you can see a little bit better. And then this is the one that I just completed. So I'm real happy with the way it turned out. I'm not going to put a handle on this unless I can find some silver ribbon to hang with it. Right now I don't have any, so. But I'm just real pleased with the way they turned out. And I think the nautical rope just makes it. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye!